So you may be wondering if you or a loved one is on the autism spectrum. You may have noticed the symptoms in yourself or in your child. So today's video, we're going to look at these symptoms. We're going to talk about them, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will have an idea if you or your loved one is on the autism spectrum. Autism. For many of us on the spectrum, this has meant a life of social challenges, rejection, bullying, and isolation from others. Parents are faced with difficult challenges and provided with inadequate solutions. Yesterday's system no longer serves today's autism population. But all of that changes now. My name is Arman. I am an individual on the autism spectrum. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the next level of autism. So here's the first question that you need to ask. Do you have a hard time socializing? Does it come hard for you? A lot of people on the spectrum have a very hard time socializing. And by socializing, I don't just mean being shy. Shyness could be a part of it. But it also means not knowing what to say, saying inappropriate things at inappropriate times, talking in a monotone voice, not being able to fluctuate your tone of voice, having difficulties with eye contact, feeling violated when people force you to look into their eyes, hating eye contact. So social difficulties, social challenges in general are a potential sign of autism. Here's the important thing. Autism is first and foremost a social disorder. Now there's more to it than just the social component, but if socializing is a challenge for you, or your child's disconnected from people, your child has no interest in talking to people or other children, and they're off doing their own little thing, they're just fine playing with their toys or staring at some bricks forever, or whatever they're into. And when the other kids go up to them, they don't even seem to notice the other kids. So that's a potential sign right there that you or your child is on the autism spectrum. Or here's another thing. Do you only talk about one interest excessively? So maybe you're really into Marvel and you only talk about Marvel even to people who really aren't into Marvel. Or maybe you overshare. You don't know what to share and what not to share. So you talk about things that to other people you normally wouldn't talk about in public. So people are like, whoa, that was TMI, too much information. And you get that quite a lot. That could be a sign that, yeah, you are potentially on the autism spectrum. So moving on to the next thing to look out for. Do you have sensory processing issues? Do certain sounds really annoy you, like the sound of markers or any sound really? If you're in a place of a lot of people talking about this, just go like, oh, I wanna... You go crazy when there's just so many people talking in a room, and it's like you're hearing all of them, and it's just, oh, you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. If that's a sensory processing issue, and that may point towards autism. Or maybe certain textures really annoy you, like you feel a certain texture and it just, oh, you can't stand it. It feels horrible to you. Or even eating certain foods, the texture is like, oh. Or you hate the taste of certain foods. Or you have a limited diet. Having a limited diet, like only wanting to eat like 2 or 3 certain foods, is very common in autism. So that is something to keep your eye out for. So if someone really likes being squished, that's another sensory thing. Certain textures. So stim, which is actually something else. So if you stim, you flap your hands, or maybe you see your kid watching the same 2 seconds of the YouTube clip over and over again. I mean, like literally like 2 seconds, like they watch like 2 seconds, bloop, gotta watch it again. Bloop, gotta watch, they just keep rewinding that over and over and over again. That's either a sensory thing or a stimming thing, and that definitely points towards autism. And aside from the whole stimming thing, so if you're flapping the hands again, looking at the, doing the iPad thing. The other thing to keep in mind, do you have OCD tendencies? So if you have OCD tendencies, needing to do something over and over again, or having to have things in a certain order, like if something's out of alignment, it just drives you crazy. Yeah, OCD tendencies are a definite sign that you could very well be on the autism spectrum. So keep an eye out for that. Another thing, learning disabilities and speech delays are very common in autism. So you notice that your child doesn't have interest in children, and they also aren't really talking, that could definitely point towards autism. So you should definitely seek out a professional diagnosis. If you found this video helpful and you want to learn more about autism, be sure to check out my other videos. I've also made this video about 5 superheroes on the autism spectrum, so by watching that may help you learn more about autism by being able to see it in other people that you know. In this case, superheroes that you see on movies and television. So be sure to check that out, and I will see you in the next video.